everyone, it's Vicky from Minerva. We have the brand new issue of Burda sewing patterns in stock now at Minerva. There's some really good ones in this latest issue. So I've picked out 6 of my favourites and a fabric to go with each of them to give you some ideas on what you can sew, what fabrics are brilliant for these patterns, and just to give you a sprinkling of what's new from the new collection. We will put a link below this video to all the new patterns in this Burda issue, so if you want to check them all out, you'll be able to find them all there. But for now, let's get stuck into the ones that I've picked. So the first pattern is Burda 5923, and this is a women's wear jacket or parka coat pattern, and I think it's definitely a pattern that you can really get your teeth stuck into. Is this one. There's loads of details on it. And I particularly love the option with the tie belt, but you don't have to use that. You know, you can wear it as just a loose fitting. It's quite a boxy sort of shape. It has a hood with a drawstring. There are loads of different pocket details, and yeah, if you're looking for a parka coat, I think this will be a really fun project to have a go at. And there's 3 different views, like I say, with all different options that you can just pick them. Pick the bits that you want to make your perfect jacket. So the fabrics that this pattern suggests are cotton fabrics, lightweight wools, gabardine and coated fabrics. So yeah, all the sorts of things that you think of when you think of making a coat. But when it says cotton fabrics, it's obviously going to need something heavier, something with a little bit of structure. So the fabric that I've chosen is our beautiful 100% cotton canvas fabric. Now I've gone for it in this really gorgeous khaki green colour. Now as you can see when I hold that fabric up, I mean you can see the structure in this fabric. So it's not stiff as such, it's still relatively soft and malleable, so it's ideal for for making garments, but it definitely holds its shape and it has a good weight and definitely some structure in there. So I think that will be the perfect accompaniment to this pattern, and I think in a plain fabric like this, it's really going to show off all those pockets and all those details, and yeah, I just think that will be really lovely. The other great thing with this fabric is it does come in loads of colourways, so if this like sort of khaki army green isn't for you, there's loads of colours to choose from, but I thought that would be a really good colourway that would probably go with loads of things in your wardrobe, and it will carry you through the seasons as well. So the next pattern we've got, so this is a menswear pattern, and this is number 5895, and it's a shirt pattern that actually has lots of interesting details. So I think sometimes with menswear patterns, you often see a lot of patterns that are very similar, but with this shirt it's a little bit different, so I thought it'd be a good one to show you. So view A has like a panel detail here with a button-up fastening that is only at the top of the shirt, and then it has a stand-up collar and then quite a traditional sleeve with a cuff detail. And it's all about this bit at the front here, which on the pattern envelope they've shown it in a contrasting fabric to really emphasise that sort of separate panel, if you will. Which I think that's a really interesting one. But the other pattern, so the other view rather, so view B, now this one, it's quite like a traditional shirt in every way, except the button detail only goes down to just over sort of halfway, so maybe like 2/3 of the way down the shirt, and stops. So you do see that often on shirts, but I think it usually only comes to a little bit down the shirt, not up past halfway like this one does. So I thought it was quite unusual, and I think it looks really good on the sample that they've sewn up and shown on the envelope. And then in that view B, you've also got 2 options in the way that you wear it. So it's a shorter sleeve option that's rolled up, or the full length sleeve that has the the traditional sort of cuff detail and everything. And yeah, they're just so they're quite traditional shirts in one way, but they have just little like sort of a spin on the traditional shirt, which I think would be a really interesting sew. Again, something to get your teeth stuck into, but not too difficult. This pattern, for example, is rated at like an intermediate level. So fabrics for this, so it's suggesting cotton blends and linen blends, so it's quite vague in what it's suggesting there, but a cotton poplin would be lovely, a cotton broadcloth, a light to a medium weight linen, a lightweight denim or a chambray. You know, you want a light to medium weight woven fabric. It could have a little bit of stretch in there, but you don't want anything too stretchy. A non-stretch fabric, you know, will be ideal. And you want something that's got a little bit of crispness and a little bit of structure, you know, to hold that collar detail, you know, so it will be nice and crisp to sew up for those cuffs. So the fabric that I've gone for is a really beautiful chambray from Art Gallery Fabrics. The quality of this is just amazing, and I love the colour on this one. So as you can see, this is a chambray, so it's similar to a denim in a way, but it's at the lighter weight end of the scale. So as you can see with this one, you know, it does have a little bit of drape, but it's definitely got some structure in there. You can see how it holds its shape there. It's 100% cotton, so it's going to be really nice and easy to sew. It'll press beautifully, and it's going to make achieving a professional, crisp look on those collars and cuffs, you know, nice and easy to achieve with this. And I just think the colour on this will be beautiful for a shirt. It does come in a handful of other colours though, so you can have a look at those on our website as well if you'd like. But what makes this fabric lovely to me is that texture. You know, it has blue, or these like sort of turquoisey tealy blue threads running one way, white threads running the other, and you can really see the sort of slubby chambray kind of texture in that fabric. It's really, really lovely, and I think just, you know, just adds a little bit of interest to a plain fabric. So the next pattern, now this is a jumpsuit pattern or a blouse pattern. So I think it's really, really lovely, this one. Now this is, the number is 5914, and this is rated an easy pattern. And you can see why when you look at the line drawings. I think it's a really clever pattern, this one. So the jumpsuit, to start with, view A, so it has a crossover bodice which creates a V neckline, and it looks like it has a couple of little pleats at either side into the shoulder detail. And then the trouser part of the jumpsuit, it's very simple, very plain. Other than that, you know, it's a very plain jumpsuit. But what the detail that they've added, which makes it really, really special, I think, is it looks like it has, at the waist here, it has a panel that's a sort of lines of stitching that's sewn that creates a casing that you then thread a ribbon or a tube of fabric through that then draws it in at the waist. So it's a really simple, easy and quite quick way of sewing a jumpsuit like this that has a lovely shape that draws in at the waist. But you know, it'll be quite forgiving on fit, like I say, nice and easy to sew. So if you're in the beginner camp and you want to sew a jumpsuit, I think this could be a really lovely one. And then the top is something, the blouse is something I'm really, really excited about, because I know this is the sort of style that I would wear all the time, and it's just the same as the jumpsuit, except you know, it's cut off into a blouse, so it doesn't go into the trousers, obviously. So it has that same beautiful V neckline, the wrap over bodice detail, these pleat details, and then that absolutely fabulous bit that draws in at the waist. I just love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, fabrics for this pattern, it's suggesting lightweight cotton fabrics, viscose rayon or crepe fabrics. So you want something, you could either go down the very soft and drapey route with like a viscose challis, like one of our Minerva exclusive ones would be fabulous for this, or a crepe fabric, or you can go down the route of something a little bit more structured. So I thought this pattern would be perfect, and I kind of see this as a summery blouse or a summery jumpsuit, something to take with you on holiday or wear, you know, when it's a little bit warmer. Here in the UK it is coming. So I thought this would be absolutely perfect to team with our Minerva linen and viscose blend fabric, which we just absolutely love this fabric at Minerva. Now this is our graphic leopard print, and I thought that would make, well, either a fabulous jumpsuit or the blouse. Like I said, for me, I think I'd be sewing the blouse off this pattern because I would just wear that more than a jumpsuit. But a jumpsuit in that to wear on a summer holiday, wouldn't that be absolutely gorgeous? And in linen, it will be breathable and you know, keep you cool in the heat. And it's still, as you can see, it's still got enough drape to mean that it's going to gather in at that waist detail beautifully. So yeah, I think that would just be, I think that would be absolutely gorgeous for summer. And we have lots of different prints in this fabric, so you know, if this one isn't for you, do take a look at the other print designs we've got, because there's some absolutely stunning ones that, you know, would just be gorgeous in either of those patterns. So the next pattern we've got, so this is a children's wear pattern. Now it's designed for ages 4 to 11, so there's a decent size range there. And it's actually a jumpsuit pattern, or an overalls pattern as they've called it. And what I really like about this is it kind of has the feel of like a onesie, that sort of look. But you know, you could sort of dress it up and, you know, wear it outside the house and do it in a really lovely fabric, or, you know, you could dress it down and it could be really lovely sort of casual loungewear to wear around the house. And I just think it'd be really comfortable to wear with it being an all-in-one piece. And on this pattern, again, there's 2 different views. So view A is what I see as more like a onesie kind of feel, so it's not fitted at all. It's got some pocket details, buttons up the front, very simple round neckline, and a full length sleeve. And then view B is very similar, except it has a band detail around the collar, which I think just dresses it up a little bit. And the main difference is that it has a drawstring detail around the waist, which gathers it all in, so it gives it more of a fitted look. So that to me is the more dressed up version of the 2. And yeah, view A is more sort of casual, maybe loungewear that you could wear around the house and just be really comfortable in it. Yeah, really lovely, interesting pattern. And it's recommending fabrics, so it's saying cotton fabrics, cotton blend fabrics, or seersucker. So again, they're often quite vague about the fabric choices on Burda patterns. So hopefully this video will help you in your fabric choices. So I kind of see with that, you know, you want something with a little bit of structure, not too heavy, you know, so more of a light to medium weight fabric, so it's going to be comfortable to wear. And, you know, in a cotton like that, it would be breathable and, you know, really lovely to wear in the summer months. Now I was quite inspired by the versions on the envelope there, which are both made in a check cotton fabric. So I've chose this one, which is from the Minerva core range, and it's one of our cotton check fabrics. This is 100% cotton, and it's like a shirting kind of weight, so it's, you know, it's light to medium weight. It feels beautiful with it being made of cotton. It's just really lovely soft fabric, but as you can see there, you know, it has some crispness, so it's going to hold the shape of those details. But yeah, it's still going to be lightweight and soft enough to be really comfortable to wear. So yeah, I mean, we do this fabric as well in loads of different colours of checks. I mean, I think this one is really lovely. That teal and navy blue with just a hint of red running through it, I think is absolutely gorgeous. But, you know, there's loads of different colours to choose from. I think it'd be quite nice to, you know, have a few of these as well, you know, in all different colours. Yeah, you know, I could just imagine, you know, kids living in them over the summer and just being really fun, like play garments to wear. But yeah, I thought that would be a really lovely pattern pairing. Next up, so we're back to women's wear now, and this is a dress and a blouse pattern. It's another easy rated pattern, which I love finding easy rated patterns that are, you know, not too simple and not too basic, but they're still nice and quick sews. And, you know, I think lots of sewers, you know, we like to get our teeth stuck into a project, you know, every now and then, but it is nice to break it up with a nice easy sew in between, isn't it? And this pattern I think is just lovely. I love the dress and the blouse. So it has a shaped neckline that goes into quite a sharp V, that's not very low as well. It doesn't look like it's a low V, which is nice. And it has a seam detail that carries on from that V down the front of the pattern, and then it has a seam across just under the bust as well. So, you know, it has, like I say, a seam that way and a seam that way, so that breaks the front of the top or blouse up. And it has a little dart that comes from that seam at the waist, which creates shaping round the bust. And then on the back of the pattern, it echoes those same seam lines. So it has a seam down the centre back, and a seam across the front that joins that seam, across the back, which joins the seam at the front. So, and then the sleeve details are what are really interesting. So it has a seam line part way down the sleeve, with an extra bit that's then sewn on, and it can be worn you know, just like that, sort of like rolled down, or you can fold it up and it has a little tab like tie detail, and either way I think it looks really good. So if you prefer a longer sleeve, you know, you've got that sort of like 3/4 length option, or if you like it rolled up, maybe a little bit more of a summer vibe with that, it's got that option too. And it also as well, at the hemline, it has a little slit at either side as well, which I always think that's a nice little touch, and nice and easy to sew, but it's just a, you know, a really lovely finishing touch. So yeah, I think this pattern, you know, it requires a fabric that's not too large scale in print, because you wouldn't want to break up that pattern with all those seam lines. And fabrics that it's recommending, so it's saying cotton blends, linen, and it's also saying, and also imitation leather for view B, which is the top, which yeah, I'm not really sure about the imitation leather bit. I will be sticking to cottons and linens on this, but I do think as well it could be really lovely in like a viscose chalet, so like one of our Minerva exclusives that's got a little bit of weight to it. Wouldn't want anything too light, I don't think, but one of our Minerva exclusives I think would work really well. But what I've chose this time is another of our Minerva exclusive linen viscose blend fabrics, because I just think this pattern is made for linen. I think it's and this linen with the viscose content that has that gorgeous drape, I think is just perfect. So this is our design called Leopard Love. Now the reason I've chose this is because, one, I love this print, I love the orange colour, it's rich and deep, and it's bright, but it's not too bright, I don't think, and the fact that it's a smaller scale print, to me that tones it down. So, you know, it's a wow colour, but a smaller scale, more subtle print. And because it has that smaller scale print, I think it will be perfect for this pattern with all those seam details, because it's certainly not, you're not going to have to worry about pattern matching at all with this. You know, it's completely random enough and a small enough scale that that wouldn't matter at all. And yeah, I think that would just be gorgeous for spring and summer. You know, pair that with black sandals or, you know, some white pumps, it would just be lovely. And it will keep you really cool, and it would be lovely and breathable with it being in the linen. So the last the last pattern rather, and I had to include this one. I think this is my favourite from the new collection. I think it's gorgeous. So this one is number 5899, and it's a really pretty, it's just a beautiful dress. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's two different views. Now, both views have in common crossover neckline again, which creates a V-neck, and I must admit I do love a V-neckline. I think it's really flattering on me, I think. And it has a dart at the bust to create some shape, and then the difference between the two views. So the skirt on view A, it has a seam that runs down the centre, and down the back as well, and it's quite it's a relatively full skirt, so it's not straight fitted. And on view A it has a shaped hemline, so it comes up at the front and at the back and down at the sides. And then the bit I really love on view A are the tie details at the shoulder. So, you know, it's literally made with, you know, with pieces of fabric that are then tied in a bow on either shoulder, or tied in a knot on either shoulder. Really, really gorgeous. I think it adds such a pretty feminine look, but that's really easy to sew. You know, that's not going to be difficult. It is rated an intermediate pattern, so you know it's not super easy like some that we've looked at today, but I don't think this is going to be a challenging sew. And then view B, so view B just has a straight, simple strap detail, and the straps are pretty wide as well, so I don't think you're going to need to worry about bra straps showing or anything like that. And then the skirt on B has a straight hem. So, you know, if you particularly like the straight hem of the skirt on B, but you really loved the tie details from A, you know, you could mix and match the different views to get your perfect dress. Now fabrics for this, so it's recommending cotton fabrics, cotton blends, viscose rayon or silk. It's even saying you could use sequin fabrics. You wouldn't probably want to do that with the tie option, but with View B, sequin fabrics, I mean, for a party dress, you know, coming up to party season time, or even for a wedding, that could be really lovely. But I've gone for a viscose fabric. To me, I think viscose would suit this pattern more than a cotton personally, just because I think you want something with lots of drape, you know, that really swish and hang beautifully, especially on that skirt section. So the fabric I've gone for is this absolutely beautiful Minerva exclusive fabric. Look at that design. Isn't that just a showstopper? I think it's absolutely gorgeous, this print. You can see the artist's hand in this fabric. You know, you can see that it's been painted, and you know, all the brush strokes and the way that the colour has, you know, has dispersed on the water. It's just absolutely beautiful. The background colour is quite a deep royal blue, so or a light navy, yeah, somewhere between the two. And then all these pinks and blues and all these different colours that make up that floral print. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's, for me, that fabric is crying out to be made into a dress. And I think that new one from Burda will be absolutely gorgeous, just stunning. So that's all 6 patterns and fabrics that I wanted to share with you today. So I hope you found that inspiring. Let me know if you liked the new collection from Burda. I thought it was a really good one this time. Lots of really lovely patterns. You know, some that are easier, some that are more difficult ones that you can get your teeth stuck into. So lots of choice, and we've got some for men, children, and obviously lots for women's wear as well, as there always is from Burda. So yes, a really great selection of patterns this time, I think. Like I said, I only picked out 6 of my favourites to share with you in the video today, so do take a look at that link that will pop below this video, and you can explore all the new patterns from Burda. There's some other really good ones as well, you know, that I haven't featured in today's video, so do take a look at those. So let me know in the comments below which was your favourite pattern that I featured today, which was your favourite fabric, which was your favourite pairing. I'd love to hear from you. As always, we will tag all the products that I've mentioned below this video, so if you want to go and check those out, you can do. And thanks very much for watching. Do join us over on Minerva, join our wonderful sewing community. It's completely free to join, and I will see you again next time.